Hey everybody, GrimmChorizo here, and welcome to Wrestling Roundup, the show where I give you this week's wrestling news, rumors, and recap. So let's get started with the results from Hell in a Cell. On the pre-show, the team of Lince Dorado, Sin Cara, and Cedric Alexander defeated Arya Daivari, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak. To kick off the show, Roman Reigns defeated Rusev in a Hell in a Cell match to retain the US title. Bayley defeated Dana Brooke. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson defeated Enzo and Cass. Kevin Owens, with help from Chris Jericho, retained the Universal Championship against Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. Brian Kendrick defeated TJ Perkins to become the new Cruiserweight Champion. Cesaro and Sheamus defeated the New Day, but it was by disqualification, so the New Day retained the tag team titles. And in the main event, Charlotte Flair defeated Sasha Banks to become the new Women's Champion inside Hell in a Cell. So Hell in a Cell, honestly, to me, was a pretty damn good show. I enjoyed all of the Hell in a Cell matches. I thought that the women did a hell of a job for their first ever main event and Hell in a Cell match. I thought it was very good, very entertaining. They did a stretcher spot where Sasha was not going to be able to compete before the match even started. I thought that went on a little bit too long, but other than that, and of course there were some table botches. There were little things, but I thought that they did a great job. It was nice to see them use weapons. They told a good story, and they had an unexpected outcome with Charlotte winning the title. Owens and Rollins was an amazing match, and Roman and Rusev was, it was fine. It was just, I don't like the whole thing of, the heel beating down, the baby face the whole time, and when it's being somebody like Roman Reigns who's wearing a protective vest and is literally this dominant guy, it just doesn't really work for me, and then he comes back and wins with one move. But either way, I thought the Hell in a Cell was a good show. Moving over to Raw, the night kicked off with Goldberg delivering a jackhammer to Rusev and a spear to Paul Heyman. Enzo Amore defeated Luke Gallows in a trick or street fight because it was Halloween, so they had a Halloween street fight like they always do. TJ Perkins beat Brian Kendrick by countout, so Brian Kendrick retained the Cruiserweight title. Braun Strowman won a Battle Royal to qualify for Team Raw at Survivor Series. And Roman Reigns retained the United States Championship by disqualification against Chris Jericho. So Raw wasn't too bad. I thought it was pretty decent. Just a lot of screwy finishes for these title matches. I know that, they're not actually going to change the title on Raw, but it's just a disqualification and a countout and another disqualification the day before. It was just a little too much, but I thought Raw was pretty decent and Hell in a Cell was great. Moving over to SmackDown, Randy Orton has officially joined the Wyatt family, so that is pretty cool. Both American Alpha and the Usos both qualified for Team SmackDown at Survivor Series, the tag team. Dolph Ziggler retained the Intercontinental Championship against Kurt Hawkins in about 5 seconds. And in the main event, Dean Ambrose defeated AJ Styles with help from James Ellsworth to become the new #1 contender for the WWE World Championship. So I thought the SmackDown was good. There was just a lot of short matches and a lot of, matches that they just didn't do a whole lot. So this week I'm going to give the win to Raw because Hell in a Cell, they put on a great pay-per-view and they had a pretty good episode of Raw. And SmackDown was good. It just, I think Raw was better this week. This week's NXT had a bunch of teams advance in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, including the Authors of Pain, Sanity, DIY, and TM61. New matches have been added to Survivor Series, including that we now know Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, the men. That Team Raw will consist of Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and one more person not announced yet, and they'll take on Team SmackDown consisting of Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, and AJ Styles. The women's Survivor Series match, Team Raw is currently Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Nia Jax, and 2 other people to be announced later, and Team SmackDown is Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, Carmella, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss. The tag team Survivor Series match, Team Raw has only announced the New Day for their team. Team SmackDown has announced the Usos, American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and Heath Slater and Rhino, with one more team to be announced. The main event of TLC, which is in December, has been announced. It will be Dean Ambrose taking on AJ Styles in a TLC match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It was revealed that at the end of the month, on November 29th, WWE will be having a new show come to the network called 205 Live. It'll be a Cruiserweight weekly show. It'll be live on the WWE Network, and it'll basically be all Cruiserweights, which is pretty cool, but I don't know how that's going to affect their place on Raw. So yeah, Cruiserweight only show, that's probably better for them because they'll have more of a shot to shine, but I do hope that they're still used on Raw. So thanks for watching this week's episode of Wrestling Roundup. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next week. See you later.